Hey folks, today I'm just going to go over a bit more about the Failstack Designer, specifically the amount of gear that you have for your Failstacks. Now I'm going to break this down quickly. So first things first, I've changed this so that now you do select the stack you're starting with. This is from the buying your stacks, so you can just select it rather than typing it in. Then the next thing is basically what this is all about. So this is about the amount that you produce of each tier. Now this is going off to make one successful 240 stack on average, going from base making it yourself. Now this is how I use it to stack. Now I'm using 2 pry deliberately to try and get more duos. And then the plus 14 just basically gets me to the stacks in the right place, is all it is. So my stacks are correct. I mean, my 110 is technically incorrect, but it's actually not because I stop at a 98 and put 12 in. So technically my stack's 466 million plus the Valkyrie. But that's not entirely accurate, and this is what we're going to get into now. So how many you use? So in total, I'm going to use 310 pry, but I'll only make 287. Now this is taken into account when you use a pry and fail, it stays pry. So technically, you would still have plenty of those pries to use. So that bit is actually redundant. It's not necessary really to see the amount of pries that you have, but I just figured it helps to see the figures. Now, your duos, when using this strategy, you're going to use 122 duos, but you're going to make 269 duos. So you're actually, well, more than better off making your duos. You don't need to worry about any duos in your costs. This is where the problem is produced, and if you watch my streams, you see that I have issues getting tries. So we're going to be using 193 tries, but we only make 85. So we need to take into account the fact that we need to make an additional 108 tries. So you can either take that into account in your costs for your total cost, so that's going to cost more, or you can try and rebalance it to be more accurate for what you need. So let's say, okay, well, we're making plenty of duos, so we can do more duo taps. So if we put an extra duo in, cost is going to go NA. That's an interesting one. Oh, right, yeah, it's NA because it's not gone high enough. So all I need to do here is just drag this down one more. Oh, and I need to drag this one down. I forgot. There we go. So now it's suddenly going to go up to 3.8 billion. That's a billion increase in cost. But that's because now, if you look, you're now 225 duos used, but you're still fine here with this number. In fact, you're perfect here with these. But your tries, rather than it being a big gap, you're now at 168 used and 123 produced. So you're still below what you need, but you are doing better. Now, one thing that you can also do here is actually if you change this one into a tet, it will push it back down so you can get rid of this row again. Now, the reason that I'm getting rid of this row again is just to fix the formulas, basically, just because the way the formulas work. So you don't really need to worry about that. I'm just doing it just for ease of access for this video, as it were. So now it's 2.8 billion. So that's gone back down. But now if we look, we're just pretty much okay on prior use. Our duos, again, we're more than enough duos. Our tries used is 123 and 104 produced. So we're just still got like 19 short, but that's really not too bad. We do have an issue for the amount of tets, so like this isn't really viable for the 14. The 14 for the 240 stack. You've still got to figure out a way of getting more tets. But if we just look, right, what I'm going to do, this is going to cause issues. But if we go, okay, I'm going to bring this back. It's just for the example. It didn't delete them when I told it to delete. So 852 million for making a tet. But let's say if we're just going for tet stacks, basically, this is just the easiest way for me to do it. So you're still okay for your prize. You're okay for your duos. And then your tries, you're going to be using 37, 19. So you still need more tries. And this is just when you're using 2 tets. If you remove the tets to put tries, it's going to be even worse, to be honest. Yeah. But let's say we're going down to where I was before, using the 97 stack. All of a sudden, we're using less tries, so we're almost there. So it's just a case of figuring out how to use it and make it work. But if you watch my streams, you will know that what I typically do is go, okay, if I need more duos or tries, I'll just make this part of the stack more. So I will make multiple different attempts of making the stack. Like, let's say if I was doing duo stacks, I would make a pry and then duo click for the 40 stack. So I'll just go and I'll just show you how I mean. So I'll leave this one as a duo, but if we put this to a duo, so it's pry duo here, and you can see, yes, it makes it more expensive, but this does show off that we're going to be using a lot more duos, but our tries, we're producing more than we use. So it's basically, you're going to be doing different versions to get it correct, and it's really going to affect your cost. Now, this has actually become a longer video than I thought because I'm trying to explain it, but basically, you're going to have multiple ways of making it to make sure that you always have enough of your accessories of your Reblath the click. Now, what you can do is obviously duplicate this and change it so that you've got multiple ways of making your stacks. Because if you do it like this, for example, you've got your pries, you've almost got your duos, you still have your tries. It's just your tets that will be a problem for the 240. So it's just a case of just keep trying it, change it around. If you want to use multiple different methods, so that, let's say you've got one method that is, you don't have enough duos produced, and then you have another method where you make too many duos, but not enough tries, whereas this one's got enough tries. So you basically do multiple different ones, and then combine the costs. So like do an average of the costs, so you work it out that way. So yes, the cheapest way for me to do it is like this. I think this one should be a try. And then, yeah, I mean, I'll put this one to a try as well. Yeah, so this is the way that I do it. And the 240 comes up at 2.7. But this is, in an ideal world, these are the taps that I would use to make it this price. It's a case of, it does mean you have to fiddle around with it, but this isn't how much each 240 stack I would make is. This is the cheapest 240 stack, but there's a discrepancy. Anyway, I feel like I've explained this to death. Hopefully you understand. If you found it useful, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, of course, and I will see you later today. No, wait, sorry, tomorrow with my live stream. Ciao for now.